Let me ask you something very personal. Has this ever happened to you? You walk into a room in your own home, a room you have walked into 1,000 times, and you stop in the doorway completely blank. You cannot remember for the life of you why you came in, or you are mid-sentence talking to someone you love and the word you need just vanishes. It was right there a moment ago. Now it is gone. Or someone tells you their name and 30 seconds later it has completely disappeared as if it was never there at all. If any of that sounds familiar, I want you to know two things right now. First, you are not alone. I hear this from patients every single week. Second, and this is the part that most people never get told, this does not have to be your permanent reality. Because here is what I know after 15 years of working with older adults. The most damaging thing that happens when memory starts to feel unreliable is not the forgetting itself. It is the story we tell ourselves about the forgetting. We decide it is inevitable. We decide it is just age. We decide nothing can be done. And the moment we make that decision, we stop challenging our brain entirely. And that is when things genuinely start to decline. I am Dr. Weston, and today I am going to share something with you that I genuinely wish every person over 60 knew about. A simple 60-second daily exercise, no equipment, no medication, no gym membership required, that may help wake up your memory and sharpen your thinking by working with your brain's own remarkable capacity for change. I am going to explain exactly how to do it, why it works based on real neuroscience, and the common mistakes that stop most people from getting results. Stay with me through this entire video because toward the end, I am going to share 3 specific secrets that dramatically increase the effectiveness of this exercise. Most people never hear about these, and they make all the difference between results you can actually feel and results that never come. But first, I need to give you the most important piece of context, because everything else I share today builds on this foundation. There is a belief that most people over 60 carry around with them like a heavy, invisible weight. The belief that memory loss is simply a normal and inevitable part of getting older. That the brain is like a machine that gradually rusts and wears out. That forgetting things is just what happens when you reach a certain age, and there is nothing meaningful you can do about it. Society reinforces this belief constantly, in jokes, in movies, in casual conversations. After enough repetition, we accept it as true. And when we accept it as true, we stop trying. We stop reading. We stop learning new things. We stop challenging our minds. And ironically, by accepting the belief that decline is inevitable, we actually accelerate the very process we fear most. Here is what modern neuroscience actually shows us. And I want you to really hear this because it genuinely changes everything. Your brain has a remarkable quality called neuroplasticity. This is the brain's ability to form new connections, strengthen existing ones, and actually reorganize itself in response to activity and stimulation. And here is the extraordinary part. This ability does not disappear with age. It is present throughout your entire life. Your brain at 70 still has the capacity to form new neural connections. It still responds to challenge and stimulation. It still has the ability to compensate and adapt. Let me give you a simple analogy that I use with my patients. Think of your brain as a vast network of pathways through a forest. Every time you think a particular thought, recall a memory, or perform a skill, you are walking along one of those pathways. The more you use a pathway, the wider, clearer, and easier it becomes to travel. But if you stop using certain pathways and stop creating new ones, the undergrowth closes in and they become harder to access. The pathways do not disappear overnight, but they become increasingly overgrown if they are not regularly used. Neuroplasticity is your brain's gardening ability, the capacity to clear overgrown pathways and create entirely new ones at any age. The 60-second exercise I'm going to teach you today is essentially a precise and efficient gardening tool for your brain. And it works through a principle that neuroscientists call dual tasking, doing 2 things simultaneously in a way that forces different regions of the brain to communicate and coordinate with each other. When your brain has to manage a physical task and a mental task at the same time, it is not just doing 2 things. It is building bridges. It is creating new connections. It is doing exactly what neuroplasticity requires. Let me tell you about a patient of mine before I walk you through the exercise, because I think her story will resonate with many of you. Her name was Patricia, 72 years old, a retired school librarian who had spent her entire career surrounded by books and ideas. She came to see me accompanied by her husband, who was clearly worried. Patricia described what had been happening with the kind of careful precision that told me she had been paying very close attention to herself. She said, "Doctor, I feel like my mind has fog in it. I used to be able to remember every author, every title, every patron who came through my library. Now I lose my train of thought in the middle of a conversation. Last week, I could not remember the name of a book I have read 4 times. My husband had to look it up for me, and I felt so embarrassed." What struck me most about Patricia was not the forgetting. It was what she had stopped doing because of the forgetting. She had stopped hosting her book club because she was afraid of losing her words mid-discussion. She had stopped trying to learn new things because she believed her capacity to learn was gone. Her world had quietly shrunk around her fear, and that shrinking, that withdrawal from mental challenge, was making things worse, not better. I suggested something simple, 1 minute a day, a specific exercise combining gentle physical movement with mental engagement. She looked at me with polite skepticism and said, "1 minute, really?" I told her what I tell all my patients. The brain is like any other living tissue. It responds to the right kind of stimulation. Not to overwhelming effort, but to the right kind of targeted, consistent challenge. Give me 4 weeks and 1 minute a day, and let us see what happens. 4 weeks later, Patricia came back. Her husband spoke first, and his voice was different. He said, "Something shifted about 10 days in. She started finishing sentences again. 2 weeks ago, she picked up a novel she had been avoiding for months and read 40 pages in one sitting. Yesterday, she called our daughter and talked for an hour about a documentary she watched. I have not seen her that animated in a year." Patricia smiled and said, "I feel less foggy. I feel like I am actually present again instead of watching everything through glass." I want to be honest with you the way I was honest with Patricia. This exercise is not a miracle. Results vary from person to person. Some people notice changes within days. For others, it takes longer. But the neuroscience behind why it works is real and consistent. And now I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. You need only a chair and 60 seconds of your focused attention. That is it. Nothing else. Find a sturdy chair, sit toward the front edge with your back straight but not rigid, your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart, your hands resting on your thighs. Close your eyes for just a moment and take one slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Now open your eyes. We are going to divide this 60 seconds into 2 equal parts of 30 seconds each. For the first 30 seconds, the focus is entirely on movement and breathing. This is the physical activation phase. Here is what you do. With both hands resting on your thighs, slowly and deliberately lift your right arm straight out in front of you until it is parallel to the floor. As you lift the arm, breathe in slowly through your nose, counting to 4 in your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Then slowly lower your right arm back to your thigh as you breathe out through your mouth, again counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then repeat the same movement with your left arm. Lift slowly while you breathe in for 4 counts. Lower slowly while you breathe out for 4 counts. Continue alternating arms at this slow, deliberate pace for the full first 30 seconds. The pace is important. Slow and controlled, not rushed. The goal is not physical exercise. The goal is the combination of rhythmic, coordinated movement with slow, controlled breathing. This rhythmic breathing increases the oxygen supply to your brain, and your brain is extraordinarily oxygen dependent, consuming roughly 20% of your body's total oxygen supply, despite being only about 2% of your body weight. This deep rhythmic breathing also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and recovery mode, which reduces the stress hormones that actually interfere with memory consolidation and recall. Now here is where the real magic happens. For the second 30 seconds, you are going to continue the exact same arm movement at the exact same pace. Do not stop the movement. Do not change the breathing. But now you are going to add a mental challenge at the same time. The mental challenge is a simple verbal fluency exercise. While you continue moving your arms and breathing, you are going to name items from a specific category out loud or in your mind. Choose a category before you start. For your first time, try something straightforward like types of fruit or names of animals or items of clothing. As you lift your right arm, breathing in, say or think of one item from your category. As you lower your arm, breathing out, think of the next one. Lift the left arm, another item, lower, another. Keep going for the full 30 seconds, naming as many items as you can from your chosen category. If your mind goes blank, do not stop the movement. Keep breathing, keep the arms moving, just wait. The word will usually come. The blank moments are not failures. They are actually where much of the neurological work is happening. Your brain is searching, reaching, forming connections. That effortful search is precisely the stimulus that drives neuroplastic change, and that is the complete exercise. 30 seconds of movement and breathing alone. 30 seconds of movement and breathing combined with active mental recall. 1 minute total. The reason this combination is so effective comes down to what happens in the brain when you do both things simultaneously. The physical movement and coordination engage the cerebellum and motor cortex. The controlled breathing engages the regions that regulate attention and calm the stress response. The active verbal recall engages the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, and the hippocampus, the areas most directly involved in memory formation and retrieval. When all of these regions are engaged simultaneously, they must communicate with each other. That cross-regional communication is where new neural pathways form. That is neuroplasticity happening in real time. That is your brain doing its gardening. Now let me give you the progression, because consistency over time combined with gradually increasing difficulty is what produces lasting results. Your brain is extraordinarily adaptive. If you do the same exercise at the same level of difficulty every single day, it will adjust to that level, and the stimulating effect will reduce. You need to keep it slightly challenging to keep it effective. In your first week, use simple concrete categories: fruits, animals, colors, countries. These are familiar, well-established memory networks, and they are perfect for getting started. In your second week, shift to slightly more demanding categories: names of people you know, names of cities, names of books or films. These require more effortful retrieval, and the increased effort drives stronger neuroplastic response. In your third week, try word fluency by letter. Choose a letter and name as many words as you can that begin with that letter while continuing the movement. In your fourth week, try counting backward from 100 by threes while continuing the movement. This is significantly more challenging, and that challenge is exactly what you want. The rule of thumb I give all my patients is this: if it feels easy, it is time to make it harder. The sweet spot is slight effort. That feeling of your brain working just a little harder than comfortable, that is where growth happens. Let me share the 3 secrets I promised you earlier. These are the things that separate people who notice real results from those who do the exercise and feel nothing changes. Secret 1. Drink a full glass of water before you begin. Your brain is approximately 75% water. Even mild dehydration, the kind most older adults experience daily without realizing it, measurably reduces cognitive performance, slows memory retrieval, and impairs concentration. Drinking water before this exercise is not a nice optional extra. It is preparation. You are literally fueling the organ you are about to work with. Secret 2. Add a genuine moment of positive anticipation before you start. Before you begin the exercise, take one slow breath and allow yourself to feel genuinely curious and interested in what you are about to do. This is not wishful thinking. Research suggests that positive emotional states during learning and mental exercise are associated with the release of neurotransmitters that enhance neuroplasticity and improve memory consolidation. The emotional state you bring to the exercise affects the neurological outcome of the exercise. Approach it with genuine interest rather than obligation, and you may find it noticeably more effective. Secret 3. Teach this exercise to someone else. This is perhaps the most powerful secret of all. When you explain something to another person, your brain has to organize, sequence, and articulate information it already holds. This process of active explanation strengthens the neural networks associated with that information far more effectively than simply reviewing it yourself. Find your partner, a friend, a neighbor, a family member, and teach them exactly what you have learned today. In doing so, you will reinforce your own understanding and give someone you care about a genuinely valuable tool. Here is your important warning. This exercise is appropriate for the normal age-related memory changes that most people over 60 experience. the occasional word finding difficulty, the brief moments of forgetting, the mild mental fog. It is not a substitute for professional medical evaluation if you are experiencing significant or rapidly worsening memory problems, confusion about time or place, difficulty with daily tasks that were previously simple, or if family members are expressing serious concerns about your cognition. These symptoms deserve a professional assessment. Please do not use this or any wellness practice to avoid seeking appropriate medical care for concerning symptoms. Your action plan starting today is beautifully simple. Choose a chair in a quiet space. Choose your first category, set a timer for 60 seconds. Begin. Do this once every day at the same time. Morning with your first drink of water works beautifully as a daily anchor. Keep a simple note each day of which category you used and approximately how many items you named. You will likely notice within the first week that the number increases. That increase is real evidence of your brain's growing efficiency. Your brain has been waiting for this kind of targeted, consistent challenge. It has the capacity for growth that most people dramatically underestimate. 1 minute a day is genuinely enough to begin changing the relationship between you and your memory. Not through wishful thinking, but through the application of real neuroscience in a form that anyone can access anywhere at any time. Your mind is not finished growing. Not at 60, not at 70, not at 80. The only thing that truly limits neuroplasticity is the decision to stop trying, and you have already made the opposite decision by being here today. If you found this video helpful today, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a health tip. See you in the next video. Remember, this video is for informational and educational purposes only. Always consult with your personal doctor before making any changes to your health.